Hello, Dhairya. Trying to say that fast enough. No, I see. I wrote it here to say it better. Dhairya. Better? Dhairya. Wow, I'd love to go to Mumbai. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about your paper, your inquiry paper. I'm going to read through it and give you some feedback. We're going to space. In this essay, I've decided to write about the debate on whether humanity should invest billions of dollars into exploration of outer space. I intend to make a career in space exploration. Sorry, I'm excited. And I've been told by a lot of people that space exploration is a waste of resources, and all that. I think you want to say, and that all that money and resources should be used to solve the problems here on Earth before looking beyond it. All that's good stuff, but that sentence has so much in it, I started to kind of get lost. So I would split that up into at least two different sentences. I intend to make a career, and I've been told by a lot of people. And then separately, they say it's a waste because we should solve problems here on Earth. Lame. Well, I believe space exploration is extremely important, for it helps humans gain crucial insights and understanding of the universe they live in. I have decided to look into the other side of the debate to understand both sides of the story and why the other side also makes fair points for their opinions. That's wonderful. Love it. Okay, something else I was going to say? I don't think so. Okay, the first and foremost argument against space exploration is, of course, the economic cost of the space missions and the research that goes into creating successful or even unsuccessful space missions. You're doing so much in that one sentence. You don't have to have your sentences work that hard. Just let them do a little bit, and then a little bit more. I feel like this is something people are often working on at the college level with their writing, is that you know how to set up a nice long sentence that's grammatically standard and everything. That doesn't mean you have to do that. You can still find it really powerful to periodically use a super short sentence. Sorry, coming back. People against the space mission funding argue there are a multitude of problems here on Earth that could use the valuable resources that are poured into these space missions. There are hundreds of people in underdeveloped countries that are below the poverty line, and millions of children who have no certainty when they will get their next meal. Ugh. Right, and you're writing this from India, I believe. And so that's, I'm just remarking that puts a different context on all of this, right? India has slightly different problems than the United States. So yeah, I'm not sure what, if you're kind of writing this paper from an American context or an Indian one, but from an American context, why am I going to yammer about this? I don't know. From an American context, we've already invested a bunch of time and money into this in the past and have a whole history of it. And I'm very curious, actually, I don't, if you ever want to go into this, how India or people in any other country, honestly, I really only know about how Russia, Soviet Union, the United States have dealt with space travel. I'm very curious about other places. So I know they participated in the International Space Station and stuff. Okay. Sorry. People against the space mission funding argue that there are a multitude of problems here on Earth. Shoot, I read that. Such countries and people are dependent on help and support from richer countries for basic amenities like food and water. There are several nations in the world that are marred by warfare or by droughts and famines. I would say there are several nations in the world that are currently marred by warfare, right? Because, all nations are marred by warfare and droughts and famines at different times. If they last long enough, there are global diseases that need funding for cure research. Amidst all of the problems here on the planet, is it ethical to pour in billions of dollars in space research that would have no direct effect on the welfare of the people? Secondly, That's our firstly. Secondly, what do we hope to gain back from the resources, economic, human, or natural, invested in trying to reach distant worlds? Is this a new paragraph? Space exploration has created a new frontier for political tensions between countries. Whoa, that is a new paragraph. We haven't mentioned anything about politics, so definitely need a new paragraph there. The military potential of outer space has created opportunities for countries to compare for supremacy in space. The exploitation of off-world resources, and control over planets and satellites is a perfect setting for a war to break out between nations. Whew. Many countries are pouring vital resources into achieving a specific space milestone before any other country as a way to display technological supremacy. They are? Okay, now I'm going to look back and be like, where's your research in all this? Let me kind of zoom to the end. So there's your works cited. Have I seen Interstellar? I don't think I have. I should see that. It looks like you have some good sources. Okay, and there you're quoting Interstellar. But you're starting to get into some stuff that you want to support with sources. I mean, I'm just kind of willing to believe you in a lot of this stuff because you've made fairly general statements, and, I have a basic idea that they're true. But it would be much more powerful for your discussion to say, this many people in the world are starving. This many people in the world are in desperate need of medical care. Than just to say, like, some people need stuff. That's the way you put it, but okay. There are space exploration. Oh, no, I read that part. These resources could have been better Many countries are pouring vital resources into achieving a specific space mission milestone before any other country as a way to display technological supremacy. That makes sense. But who? Who's doing that? I'm dying to know. Yeah, we need examples. It really begs the question as to what space exploration has brought back to the economies of the world and the welfare of the people. It begs the question. So this is maybe going to seem bizarre, but you don't need a question mark at the end of that the way it is. It really begs the question, but it would be better with a question mark, wouldn't it? I think it would be better to go, it really begs the question, what has space exploration brought to the welfare of people? Yeah. Okay. I think keep the question mark, but clean up that sentence a little bit. Given the above complex and very real issues, sorry, lost my place. The stuff about warfare, the stuff about people being hungry. Why do humans feel the need to get out and explore the vast unknown regions of space, even when the risks are huge and there is a little chance of success? Because it's awesome. Sorry. I found some interesting insights into why the human curiosity and the thirst for knowledge are almost unquenchable. In an article I read, that humans arrived in Australia about 65,000 years ago, and they crossed vast bodies of open water to reach there. When they set out on their rafts, they did not know where their voyage would take them. They did not know if they would survive till the end of their long journeys, but just armed with their basic instincts and curiosity, they traversed through adversities and made a successful migration. I find this to be an example of the sheer strength of the human spirit and the never-ending quest for knowledge. That's a lovely example. It seems like the need to explore and gain more knowledge is embedded in our genes and forms part of our identity as humans. Okay, but again, you need to say where you got this story from. I believe you. But in your paper, you got to say, here's where I can go read about 65,000 years ago that they crossed the water and all that stuff. You don't have to directly quote it. That is, you don't have to take the words straight from the source and put them in, quotation marks. But you need to somewhere in there mention, according to National Geographic, humans arrived in Australia or something like that. Okay. Oh boy, one of your favorite movies. I really don't think I've seen it. Ugh. Describes the human spirit beautifully. It goes as this. What I would do there, I found this quote from one of my favorite movies. Oh, I love that you have a U in your word favorite. I never get to teach people. I rarely get to teach people who have British influence spelling, and I love it. Okay, sorry. One of my favorite movies, Interstellar, that describes the human spirit beautifully. Then I would put 2 dots, because you're going to explain how it describes the human spirit. The 2 dots, the colon, is a way to set up for your reader, I'm about to define something, or I'm about to give an example. We've always defined ourselves by the ability to overcome the impossible, and we count these moments. These moments when we dare to aim higher, to break barriers, to reach for the stars, to make the unknown known. We count those moments as our proudest achievements, but we lost all of that. Oh, they did? Or perhaps we've just forgotten we are still pioneers, but we barely begun, and then that our greatest accomplishments cannot be behind us because our destiny lies above us. That's beautiful. But I'm wondering if we've always defined ourselves, we count those moments. I would stop quoting after to make the unknown known, because that's what you're trying to get at. The fact that in the context of the movie, they've lost a person saying they feel like they've lost this adventurous spirit. I don't think you want to go into that as part of your quote. Your thing is just about the human spirit is trying to overcome things. Apart from the philosophical gains from space exploration. Philosophical gains? If you're meaning the last paragraph, I don't think of those as, well, I mean, I feel like those are more like emotional gains, or like, yeah, I mean, kind of emotional. I don't know. It doesn't really seem philosophical exactly. It's more like, well, I mean, it's part of the philosophy, and that, you know, what's important to you, what gives life meaning. But I don't know. I just think the word philosophical is weird there. Okay. There are several tangible or intangible gains from the advancement of space technology. Space exploration is an efficient driver for basic science and technology. Yes. There are several technologies derived directly or indirectly from technologies that were originally developed for spacecraft. Basic everyday items such as the water purifier, GPS, satellite television, camera phones, wireless headsets, artificial limbs, etc. are direct or indirect offshoots from space technology. I don't think you need to say etc. Like, I don't think the reader has an expectation that you've named every single one of them. And if you wanted to kind of create that more, you could do something. No, you said such as, right? And when you say such as, you know, like, now I'm going to tell you, like, there are many states in the United States, such as Kansas and Missouri. Like, that doesn't tell people that, like, those are the only 2 states. Okay. Space research has helped economies of the pursuing countries to gain greatly due to investments from private firms, and has improved the overall technological infrastructure. We need a source for that. Another place where, like, you're saying that, it sounds right, but you have to have an expert saying this to support you. Successful space missions have a deep impact on the cultural psyche of the people. Ooh, yeah, that's more about the cultural psyche in that other paragraph, isn't it? I like that phrase, cultural psyche. And invoke a sense of pride over national achievements. On an international scale, there have been several cooperative missions between nations, the International Space Station being one of the biggest, and the ISS is the biggest symbol of international cooperation in space and the pinnacle of engineering. The satellite systems are used to predict weather and provide... Wait, what satellite systems? Yeah, so we need to say, I mean, I'm assuming, but you need to explicitly say one thing the space station does is not install, but like put out satellites. I don't know how to say it. As deliver satellites into orbit or something. Okay, and then you can say they're used for that important stuff. This has helped in reducing the loss of life and damage to property greatly. Whoa. Who said so? Another place where, like, you have to have somebody else supporting this, because you yourself are not a trusted expert in space exploration yet. Space exploration has inspired generations of youth into a career of science and technology. Here we go. Details. NASA reports that 444,000 lives have been saved. 14,000 jobs have been created, and $5 billion have been generated from just the spin-off technology industries. Oh, I would love to hear more about that. Love to. Can you find, like, just an example of some of that?